Every night, thousands of fishing vessels light up the ocean like floating cities, luring millions of squid to the surface. Over 3 million tons are hauled from deep waters each year, fueling an industry that spans continents. From Tokyo's markets to Mediterranean kitchens, squid is in high demand, but keeping it fresh across vast distances is a race against time. How do fleets stay at sea for months? What keeps squid perfectly frozen at 18 degrees Celsius? The secret lies in an intricate web of technology, logistics, and global trade. Under the glow of artificial lights, thousands of lines descend into the dark waters, each fitted with luminous lures that mimic the soft pulses of bioluminescent prey. Squid, drawn by the glow, dart upward and latch onto the hooks, triggering an unrelenting mechanical rhythm. Winches hum, hauling the creatures from the depths in an endless procession. The deck crew moves with precision, plucking them from the lines and tossing them into sorting bins. This is an operation designed for speed, where every second matters. Freshness is measured in hours, and any delay means a loss in quality. The moment squid hit the deck, they are graded, gutted, and flash frozen at temperatures that plunge to 40 degrees Celsius, locking in texture and flavor before they can begin to deteriorate. The result is a product that remains in near-perfect condition despite being hauled from remote waters thousands of miles from its final destination. Most industrial squid fleets never return to port for months. These floating factories operate on the high seas where fuel, supplies, and even crew changes happen far from any coastline. When storage space runs low, transshipment vessels arrive like silent giants, maneuvering alongside fishing boats to collect their frozen cargo. These massive refrigerated ships act as intermediaries, ferrying tons of squid back to shore while the fishing vessels remain at work, hauling in fresh catch night after night. The system increases efficiency, ensuring a steady supply without requiring fleets to make costly returns to land, but it also complicates oversight. Some ships turn off their tracking systems, allowing unreported hauls to mix with legal stock, making it difficult to trace where squid truly comes from. The open ocean, vast and unpoliced, becomes a place where legality is blurred by distance and demand. Loaded with frozen cargo, transshipment vessels leave the open ocean behind, making their way to the industrial heart of the seafood trade. Nowhere is this process more centralized than in China, where the majority of the world's squid is transformed from raw catch to neatly packaged exports. In massive factories, frozen blocks are thawed, cleaned, and sliced into uniform portions, tubes, rings, and fillets that will later be battered, grilled, or tossed into pasta dishes thousands of miles away. Workers move quickly, separating mantle from tentacles, removing ink sacs, and discarding unwanted fragments. The processed squid is then refrozen, packed, and labeled according to destination. Some shipments will head to European markets, where they will be grilled and drizzled with olive oil. Others are destined for the United States, where they will be breaded and fried into crispy calamari. Still more will travel to Japan, where squid is prized for its delicate texture and served raw as sashimi or grilled over open flames. From the moment squid are pulled from the ocean, their survival as a commodity depends on an unbroken chain of freezing precision. A single lapse in temperature could undo the entire process, turning a high-value export into a worthless pile of thawed seafood. The cold chain is not just a logistical necessity, it is the invisible force that determines whether squid reaches global markets intact or never leaves port at all. Any fluctuation above 118 degrees Celsius risks spoilage, altering texture, and reducing quality. Reefer containers, shipping units designed specifically for frozen cargo, are packed with precision, their internal sensors monitoring temperature and humidity in real time. In busy ports, containers are shuffled between transport hubs, moving from ships to trucks to warehouses, each transition carefully timed to prevent any break in refrigeration. At distribution centers, final inspections ensure that quality remains intact before shipments are cleared for their final destinations. A single misstep, a delay at customs, a power failure in transit, or a damaged reefer unit can mean thousands of dollars in lost product. At every step, technology is essential to keeping squid in peak condition. Factories rely on high-speed processing lines that clean and package the seafood at astonishing speeds. Digital tracking systems allow exporters to monitor shipments, ensuring that temperatures remain stable across vast distances. In the past, seafood exporters relied on handwritten logs and basic refrigeration. Now, real-time GPS tracking, blockchain verification, and smart reefer containers provide a level of precision unimaginable just decades ago. Yet even with all these advancements, the industry remains at the mercy of nature. Squid populations fluctuate unpredictably, driven by changes in ocean temperature, currents, and food availability. A single poor fishing season can send global prices soaring, while an unexpected surplus can flood markets and drive them down just as quickly. Despite the challenges, demand for squid continues to grow, fueled by shifting culinary trends and expanding global trade networks. What began as a raw catch hauled from deep waters is transformed through layers of freezing, processing, and packaging until it arrives on a dinner plate worlds away from where it was first pulled from the sea. Across cultures and cuisines, squid has become a staple, its delicate texture and mild flavor making it a favorite from street vendors to high-end restaurants. The process that makes it all possible is an intricate ballet of fishing, freezing, and logistics, unfolding across thousands of miles in a relentless cycle that feeds millions. Beyond the bright lights of fishing fleets and the controlled precision of processing plants, the global squid trade faces an array of challenges that threaten its stability. The first and most pressing issue lies beneath the waves. Squid are notoriously unpredictable. Unlike fish species that follow more consistent migration patterns, squid populations fluctuate wildly due to changing ocean temperatures, food availability, and natural life cycles. Some years bring an abundance of squid, flooding the market and driving prices down. Other years see stocks dwindle, forcing fleets to travel farther, stay at sea longer, and burn more fuel to meet demand. No two seasons are the same, making long-term planning nearly impossible for suppliers, exporters, and seafood distributors who rely on stable supply chains. Overfishing compounds the problem. With little international regulation on the high seas, fleets from multiple nations converge on the richest squid grounds, harvesting at unprecedented rates. Some vessels fish legally, adhering to quotas and sustainability guidelines, while others operate in legal gray areas, switching off tracking systems to evade oversight. Unregulated fleets hover just outside exclusive economic zones, pulling squid from waters where enforcement is weak. This unmonitored exploitation puts immense pressure on squid populations, threatening future harvests. Countries that depend on squid as a major export, such as Argentina and Peru, struggle to curb illegal fishing, but with thousands of vessels scattered across vast ocean expanses, enforcement is an uphill battle. Even after being frozen solid, squid remains at the mercy of time and temperature. Unlike sturdier seafood, its delicate flesh is hypersensitive to even the slightest fluctuation. A single breakdown in the cold chain, a stalled truck, a power failure at a port, or a reefer container left unplugged can reduce an entire shipment to unsellable waste. A single failure in the cold chain can ruin an entire shipment. If frozen squid begins to thaw at any point in its transit, whether during loading, customs inspection, or last-mile delivery, its texture changes irreversibly, turning rubbery and unappealing. Even minor fluctuations in temperature, sometimes by just a few degrees, can trigger ice crystal formation, damaging the delicate flesh. The entire industry depends on keeping squid at a steady 18 degrees Celsius from the moment it is frozen at sea until it reaches the consumer. The journey from ocean to market involves multiple transfers, each introducing potential risks. When frozen squid arrives at a processing facility, it must be handled quickly to prevent any break in refrigeration. After being cleaned and packaged, it is refrozen and placed into reefer containers, specialized refrigerated units designed for long-haul transport. These containers must maintain a precise temperature throughout the voyage, whether they are stacked on massive cargo ships crossing the Pacific or being trucked across continents. Any delay in port due to customs clearance, mechanical issues, or logistical bottlenecks can jeopardize the entire load. Trade disputes and market fluctuations further complicate matters. In recent years, tariffs and geopolitical tensions have disrupted seafood exports, forcing suppliers to find alternative markets when primary buyers impose restrictions. A sudden ban or regulatory shift in a major importing country can leave tons of frozen squid stranded in warehouses, forcing suppliers to redirect shipments at the last minute. Economic downturns also influence demand. When consumers tighten their budgets, luxury seafood items are among the first to be affected, causing price drops that ripple across the industry. Even the final stages of distribution present hurdles. Restaurants, grocery stores, and seafood wholesalers require precise delivery schedules, but transportation disruptions, whether from extreme weather, labor strikes, or logistical backlogs, can derail shipments. Squid, despite being frozen, has a finite shelf life. If stored too long, even at optimal temperatures, quality slowly declines, affecting taste and texture. Retailers demand consistent quality, meaning any product that fails to meet expectations risks rejection, leading to financial losses for suppliers. With demand for squid growing worldwide, these challenges will only intensify. The industry relies on a delicate balance of environmental sustainability, technological advancements, and efficient logistics to keep seafood moving across the globe. Without careful management, overfishing could deplete stocks, supply chains could fracture, and the availability of squid in global markets could become far less certain. The process is a race against time, temperature, and regulation, an ongoing struggle to maintain a seamless flow in an industry where every detail matters. To keep up with demand while navigating environmental and logistical challenges, the squid industry has turned to cutting-edge technology, refining every stage of the supply chain. Fishing fleets, once reliant on experience and intuition, now use satellite imagery and oceanographic data to predict where squid will gather. Temperature shifts, currents, and phytoplankton concentrations are analyzed to determine the most productive fishing zones before vessels even set sail. These tools reduce the need for excessive searching, cutting fuel consumption, and increasing efficiency. Onboard, new automated jigging systems have replaced traditional manual methods, allowing ships to haul in more squid with less labor. Mechanized arms lower and retrieve thousands of lures in perfect synchronization, maximizing catch rates while minimizing waste. Once squid are pulled from the water, the next challenge is preserving freshness across vast distances. Traditional freezing methods have been replaced by ultra-low temperature systems that flash freeze squid within minutes, preventing ice crystal formation that can damage texture. Some vessels now employ liquid nitrogen freezing, which locks in quality even more rapidly, creating a product that remains nearly indistinguishable from freshly caught squid once thawed. In processing plants, artificial intelligence assists in sorting and grading, ensuring only the highest quality squid reach export markets. Advanced water jet cutting systems slice squid into precise portions with minimal waste, increasing yield while maintaining consistency. Refrigerated transport, the backbone of the industry, has undergone significant advancements. Modern reefer containers are equipped with IoT sensors that monitor temperature, humidity, and even oxygen levels in real time. If a container experiences fluctuations, alerts are sent to logistics teams, allowing adjustments before spoilage occurs. Some containers now feature automated airflow systems that circulate cold air more evenly, eliminating temperature inconsistencies that were once a common issue. Shipping companies have also begun experimenting with renewable energy solutions, using solar-powered reefer units to reduce emissions during transport. Transparency in the supply chain has become a growing concern, particularly as illegal and unregulated fishing threatens marine ecosystems. To combat this, blockchain technology is being integrated into the seafood trade, providing an immutable record of each squid's origin. From the moment it is caught, every movement is logged, creating a digital trail that allows buyers to verify whether their product comes from legal, sustainable sources. Retailers and consumers can scan QR codes on packaging to trace the journey of their squid, ensuring ethical sourcing and compliance with international regulations. In parallel, satellite monitoring programs now track fishing vessels in real time, identifying suspicious activity and alerting authorities to potential violations. Sustainability efforts have also gained traction as overfishing threatens squid populations. Some fisheries have adopted quota systems, limiting the amount of squid that can be caught to prevent depletion. Others have implemented time-based closures, allowing squid stocks to replenish during critical breeding periods. Innovations in fishing gear are reducing bycatch with LED-equipped lures designed to attract only squid while minimizing harm to unintended species. In regions where squid populations are declining, aquaculture is being explored as a possible alternative, though large-scale commercial squid farming remains a challenge due to their rapid growth cycles and complex breeding behaviors. Despite these advancements, the squid trade remains a high-stakes industry where margins are tight, demand is volatile, and environmental conditions are unpredictable. Every technological improvement, from precision freezing to blockchain tracking, plays a role in keeping the global supply moving. As seafood consumption rises and sustainability concerns grow, these innovations will determine the future of squid as a widely available, high-quality product. The industry continues to evolve, driven by the need to balance efficiency, ethics, and the realities of a rapidly changing world. Yet the future remains uncertain. With growing demand, rising environmental concerns, and increasing scrutiny over fishing practices, the industry faces mounting pressure to evolve. Will sustainability efforts keep pace with consumption? Can technology curb illegal fishing and ensure traceability in an industry often shrouded in secrecy? As innovations reshape global trade, these questions will determine whether squid remains an accessible, responsibly sourced commodity or becomes an increasingly scarce resource. The next time you bite into a tender ring of calamari or savor a perfectly grilled squid, think beyond the plate. Each piece carries a hidden history, a story of high seas battles against time, technology racing against decay, and an entire industry working in seamless coordination to ensure that the seafood in front of you made it through the ultimate test: survival beyond the sea. What seems like a simple dish is in reality the product of a vast, interconnected world of trade, science, and strategy, operating day and night to meet the demands of a seafood-loving world.